So then what happened?
Well, he said, "Come back when you're a little, richer." Or something like that.
Harsh.
Meh, it was nothing. He was talking to some other guy anyway.
Is that so?
Yeah, it turns out Mr. Gold is part of the new LEGO Party game, where you can purchase gold bricks from him to win.
Interesting. We haven't seen him prominently featured since his debut in 2013.
I know, right? So of course I had to build a BrickHeadz of him.
Oh.
You know, for being an emotionless robot, I can't help but get the feeling that you're a little disappointed.
BrickHeadz are a rather straightforward concept. I just don't see how interesting it is to talk about them.
I mean, you're mostly right, but they're actually a good place to learn sideways building techniques. And in the case of Mr. Gold, we also see some unique part and color usage as well.
I suppose. In that case, what would you like to talk about first?
We'll start with the color. The actual minifigure is in chrome gold, which for all intents and purposes is not produced anymore. The only regular piece that comes in it is the ring that was introduced in the Lord of the Rings sets. That said, we'll have to use the next best thing, pearl gold.
What about metallic gold?
Far too few unique elements. Even with pearl gold, we're still missing some ordinary pieces.
Like what?
The biggest offender is the 1x2 brick, but the 1x1 brick, 1x4 brick, 1x4 plate, even the 1x1 tile are not available to use.
That sounds challenging.
To a degree, but it's nothing I haven't done before.
True.
The most interesting issue is that there are no 1x3 tiles, so I had to improvise with some 1x2 wedge tiles.
A curious solution for sure.
Which brings us to the beard. This is the point where I have to give credit to Lewis Smith on Flickr, where they made a nice Mr. Gold BrickHeadz I borrowed inspiration from. They used a technique I completely forgot about, which is using other gold-like colors to give, definition, I guess?
Or, to put it more plainly, to highlight entire sections instead of outlining them.
That's probably a better way to put it.
What are these gold-like colors that you mentioned?
Well, for instance, it appears Lewis used dark tan on their model, and LEGO even used medium nougat for their golden Lloyd BrickHeadz, but I'm going with bright light orange to give it a little more pop.
Fun fact, bright light orange is also referred to as Keat orange, in reference to Kitangu, a Bionicle figure from 2005.
That's right. While bright light orange was introduced shortly prior, it didn't really make a proper debut until 2005, and would remain a specialty color outside of Bionicle for a good few years.
I see you utilized a different approach for the torso decal.
I tried a few too many methods to achieve a satisfactory result, but with the monochrome color scheme, I couldn't simply copy what LEGO has done for some of their BrickHeadz. So I ended up just using an ingot which gives some textural definition to separate the vest from the coat, while a 1x2 grill tile in front of a metallical jumper replicates his tie.
Was it necessary to use metallic gold?
Probably not. The shadow will most likely drown it out.
Then we should probably turn our attention to the hat now.
Right. Though it's just a shameless ripoff of Lewis's design, but it looks so much better than the top hats I've built in the past that I'm considering using it for my Darkitect BrickHeadz.
Speaking of minifigure-based BrickHeadz, you normally don't give them ears, but you did for Mr. Gold. Was there any particular reason?
Nope.
Okay then.
As you can probably tell by now, I tend to get picky when designing my BrickHeadz. There's just so many different ways to replicate all the various details, and trying to do so while keeping the BrickHeadz standard can get a little out of hand.
It must be far less than if you tried to make custom minifigures.
True, even though I presume the LEGO community tends to prefer minifigures over BrickHeadz.
I imagine it is primarily with incidents like what happened with Stranger Things.
Yeah. LEGO releasing a Stranger Things set of their own accord was so out of character for them, yet people were super excited for it, so when a second set was announced 3 years later and turned out to only be a pack of 2 BrickHeadz, people were quite displeased. Well, I'm sure LEGO has learned their lesson and won't do anything like that again.
Right. Any other sage wisdom you want to give before we sign off?
Just one. All this talk of gold makes me wonder, why hasn't LEGO sold a C3PO BrickHeadz?
No idea.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's all from us for now.
Thanks for stopping by.
Have a good one.